Hi, this is Steve Reiner from Integrated Semantics, showing my flexible GraphRAG or flexible RAG only open source projects at Apache 2.0, and it's on GitHub. And it uses LlamaIndex, and that kind of allowed it to make it easy to do with a abstraction layer to do a lot of databases. So it has currently supports 8 graph databases, 10 vector databases, and 3 search engines. And separately have 13 data sources currently. The data sources use LlamaIndex readers, and they also use either configurable, either by default, Docling when there's document processing, or it can also be configured to use LlamaParse, which is not free, but Docling is free. Yeah, flexible GraphRAG is free. Anyway, so let's get started here. And it has 3 interfaces you can use. It has a, I don't know how I show the screen. Actually, if I move this out, it's better there. Okay, so this is the React front end, and this is the Vue front end. This is the Angular front end, and they're all really the same basically. So I also have a Docker that includes all the databases, and you just comment the ones that you want or don't want, and it's very convenient. So it makes it easy. So here's Quadrant, the vector database, and this is the Kibana management for Elastic. I use Elastic because you don't have to type delete to delete that you do in Open Search. So just for a little more convenience. And then I have Neo4j here. So let me run it. Pick a huge 3K file here and go. So that's, I gotta click start processing. And so it gives a lot of feedback, and it has a FastAPI backend, and that's the backend there, and then through REST, obviously and this is all in Python, and the front ends are in TypeScript, and either the React, Vue, or Angular front ends. There's also an MCP server, so that's also there for the whole thing. I need to retest that. It's been a while since I tested the MCP. I think I need to fix the MCP server. So that worked. So you would now have in your vector database quadrant, you would now have your vectors, and it's hybrid search is what it's used, and then also in Elasticsearch, I mean, just use it as full text, and then in Neo4j, you have a nice graph that was auto-generated or extracted and auto-built, or whatever you want to call it. So it's knowledge graph. It's really graph, but it's we'll call it knowledge graph. And it has schemas, so you can kind of control it, what you want, or give it a start, and then it can expand if you want to new types. So basically that. So there's like 44 relations, and I guess 22 nodes minus the chunk. So that's that, and then you can do hybrid search. So basically this search will be using the LlamaIndex Fusion, where it takes the full text, the vector, and the graph, and fuses the results all together. So this is the hybrid search there, and so I always just do CMIS, an old standard from like 10 years ago, and the answers what it is from the press release from John Newton from I forget what year it was. And then the QA query is sort of your traditional AI query in natural language. So I'll do who was first with CMIS, and oh, I guess I hit enter. It's faster than I thought. Oh no, I haven't done the ask. Hadn't asked. That was left over. Oh, I'm still doing. Yeah, okay. Alfresco was the first to announce availability, so that was there, and then basically the chat is the same thing, just when you can do multiple things, so you can do multiple queries and still look at the results. Okay, so I'm going to say who supported CMS, and it's going to say Alfresco, EMC, IBM, Microsoft, OpenText, or SAP, and I'll ask where it announced, and it was announced in London. So a little Alfresco connection there. So so that's the. Oh, and then I'll just show the. Okay, so I saw the processing. If you have multiple documents, it would show them. That was the search, and I showed the chat. I'll show off the dark and light. All the clients support that, and go back and show off the 13 data sources. I won't show them all, but basically, you have sort of a form to enter all the things. So basically, it has file system, Alfresco, CMS, web pages, Wikipedia, YouTube transcript. It has Google Drive, Microsoft OneDrive, S3, Azure Blob, Google Cloud, Box, and SharePoint. I have them all working, except for SharePoint and OneDrive Business. I'm still trying to getting the M365 developer thing to be able to do that cheaply. So those are those sources, and I think I still have on the View client. I had done a web page, and it has the search. I basically there from the Alfresco products, or I'm sorry, Highland products. I asked, did I ask, what is CIC? And it sort of figured out it was Content Innovation Cloud, even though it never said CIC. So I think that's pretty good to figure it out without it saying CIC. It's Cloud and Innovation, Content Innovation Cloud. Anyway, from Highland, their new product. And so I figured that out, and then let's see, I had the Albert Einstein. Did I do search on it? Did I do hybrid? Oh, I did do a hybrid. I think that's left over from. Anyway, yeah. So you could actually maybe let me delete the graph here. Just kind of just leave the vectors there, and just keep going with the. Let's see. Okay, here's the angular. It's using Wikipedia. It'll probably take a little while because they're huge, huge graphs. Okay, so I did. Talked about the data sources. What did I talk about? Oh, the three search engines are Elasticsearch, OpenSearch, and the built-in BM25 that LlamaIndex has. So those where you get the three count. And the vector, actually the OpenSearch and Elasticsearch can be also your vector, but each vector and search are separate config of what you choose. So have to choose both. You want OpenSearch as your vector, and you want OpenSearch as your search engine. And you actually don't have to choose. You got to choose something, because you got to choose search, vector, and graph, all three, or one of those three, or two of the three. So that's where it's flexible there, and also in terms of what's supported. So I can mention what's supported. I mentioned the data sources. What did I mention? Oh, okay, for graphs, graph database supports obviously Neo4j, ArcadeDB, and for there I had to write a LlamaIndex package to support that. FalcarDB from the Redis guys. Kuzu, and I'm going to do the fork. I think I'm going to do the Ladybug fork. There's also another one, RuGraph, that I guess I'll do two if it's, once I have I just need the LlamaIndex integration to support those. And basically, since it's just support, I just need a few name changes in their LlamaIndex package. What else I support? Oh, Nebula Graph, MemGraph, Amazon Newton, also Newton Analytics, which is separate, and the vector databases, Quadrant, Elasticsearch, OpenSearch, Neo4j, can also do vectors, Milvus, Weaviate, Chroma, Pinecone, and Postgres with the PG vector plugin or extension, and LanceDB. So I support all those. I think Lance, it was Chroma I added, where you can either use embedded or through HTTP. I mentioned the three search engines. Okay, LlamaParse, I mentioned that. Docling. Let's see, those are the data sources. Oh, okay, and then I'll mention, before I forget, get a little more to mention, but basically it's GitHub, Steve Reiner, flexible-GraphRAG is the repository, so star it a million times, or at least 1,000 for each supported graph database and vector database. Then my, I'm Steve Reiner on x.com, LinkedIn. It's a little hard to remember. Steve Reiner dash, a bunch of ABBs, 53020. And then, okay, that's LinkedIn. Anyway, so those are those guys. And then the other thing I was going to show a little bit of how you configure it. Actually, so I think I showed the FastAPI log, but basically you start that by going uv run start that py, and you run that in the backend directory, which is also called flexible GraphRAG within the flexible GraphRAG repository. So that's the front end, and then the back ends. Let's see, do I have? I think I have all three running here. So I'm running in a standalone mode, where it's like a command terminal for each front end and back end, and then Docker I have here. So basically, why am I getting this? Keep getting this. Oh, over there on the other window. Okay, yeah, here's Docker. So I'm just running 4 Dockers in the compose, and that's there. Then the front ends. Oops, why am I not getting that? Okay, here's React, and basically you do npm install in the particular front end directory, and then do npm run dev, and run npm start for the Angular, the Vue, and React do this the run dev. And those are those guys. So this is running standalone mode. And then if you configure the compose, where am I going to run the cursor? Okay, so if you run the cursor, get my face out of the way here. If in the compose, you take the comments off of the app stack and the proxy here, it'll run the front end and the 3 front ends within the Docker. Normally, just for development, just run them outside. So I think I'll maybe at some point get a Docker that has maybe this base configuration together, so you can just run a Docker with the UI and backend in it. And then, so basically, if you want the Kusu, you'd want the Explorer. I run it embedded, so you're not using this API thing. The Falcor DB from the Redis guys. Arcade DB for former Orient DB guys. Memgraph and Nebula Graph, I'm sorry. Neptune. The Neptune has both the regular Neptune and the Alex in the same YAML included. So you could go to the includes directory and look at how they're set up. And then all the vector databases are here. So I'm using the Quadrant. In Elasticsearch, the Kibana dashboard for it. And then if you use OpenSearch, the dashboard is in there. It's in the YAML, but you have a different URL. And then I have all documented all the URLs to use for all the dashboards. So basically, I was trying to make this include where you just get this, include what you want, and you got dashboards and consoles. So like for Neo4j, you get the console for it. Well, yeah, you get that pretty built in. Let's see what else I was going to show. Back to here. Yeah, so that was. So let's see if I think I ran that. This is from the Albert Einstein thing. Oh, that's huge. So this is Neo4j. Taking a while here. There we go. Okay. Okay, so that is huge. It's got 867 or 667, and it's got more than 300, but you don't really, unless you do a query to know what's there. That's not filtered out of the display thing here. So I actually do go back and do the, let's see, I was doing that from Angular, so I do a search. What's going to do query. Where is it's pretty obscure. All the kingdom of Württemberg and the German Empire. That's okay. So you could also do it from this QA carry is the same as the chat. I should have cleared it out. So basically, that's it. And then the nice thing is you can either if you switch to a different dimension, like you switched from, I'm using OpenAI. If you switch to a Llama, like a Meta large language model, you'd need to change the dimension here, or if you want a clean test of your hybrid search or your AI search. So basically, you can delete very easily within this dashboard for the quadrant vector database, and then here you select here and you go with Elasticsearch and delete and confirm it, whereas in open search you gotta say delete type it. You really want to delete so it's a little more convenient with Elasticsearch. Okay, and then to sort of clean up in Neo4j, you would delete the nodes, and then drop these things here, and then if you look in show index, I think it was already probably cleaned up. Okay, yeah, so you're cleaned up here, and then once you do that, basically if you deleted the graph, you wouldn't need to restart the front, the back end. Sorry. So basically, so just delete the logs. And you see, I'm running on Windows. I'm a little too Windows centric, but I do occasionally go test in my other room, my Mac Mini M4 and my Ubuntu Linux. So everything runs on all three, and either standalone in these little command windows, or with the whole everything in the Docker. So it's a lot of combinations of the two document processors, the Docling, the Llama parser, 13 data sources, and 10 vector databases, and 8 graph databases currently, and then there's actually a none in each of those three, so this may be like 3 more. So if you add it all up or multiply it, and then there's also the 3 platforms, and then also times the standalone or in the Docker. It's a lot of combinations. So doing the 3 front ends was actually kind of easy with Cursor, with the AI agent, doing the porting, keeping the 3, other than testing, a little pain to test all these combinations of things. So anyway, it's a lot of work, so please give me a lot of stars for all this work. And let's see, I don't think I left anything out. Okay, that's it. And maybe, one thing is that with all these data sources, they're a one-shot. I need to do something to sort of maintain, like a file management thing, and I'm probably going to use Alfresco, and then also to remember, and then have the user permissions from that, and then also have something maybe to if you get updates, changes in the data sources that maybe Kafka to do updating, change management in the graph and in the vector database. And actually, I was thinking about maybe using. I could use the Cocoa index as some updating. So that's another possibility. Also, the Open RAG, which kind of I grabbed before they took it away for 2 weeks. They basically have their document management basically in the open search. They're using Langflow, a visual AI workflow, and then OpenSearch, and then Docling. So they're basically, their file management was that they had the files in of the documents in the open search, so they'd use those as what they would manage. And so they had sort of file management, a little bit around that. So that's another possibility of file management. Or it may do a Mongo database. That's at least, not on the UI side, but just how to maybe store things of the configurations. So that's that. Oh, and then I got to do some agent stuff. I was going to maybe do a Langflow, at least with the Alfresco, my Python Alfresco MCP server, and then my MCP for flexible GraphRAG, and use them together in there in Langflow AI workflows, and in 8N, however you say that, and then LlamaIndex or Llama agents, workflows, LangGraph agents, workflows, whatever you call it, and maybe some others. So just, I guess you're supposed to have now a genic rag or something. I guess I'm supposed to have that too. But anyway, all right, you have to have agents, I guess now. So that's it. Thank you. A lot of stars, please. Thank you.